Bellman-Ford finds shortest paths even when edge weights are negative. We watch Dijkstra's method fail first. Then Bellman-Ford gets it right. A quick recap. Dijkstra solves the shortest path problem. A weighted directed graph, a source, a target. Find the root of smallest total weight, like this gold one. But look at the fine print. Every edge weight must be non-negative. So, what happens if a weight is negative? Let us find out. Here's the experiment. 6 vertices, 8 edges, a source A, and a target F. Every weight is ordinary, except one. From E to B, the weight is -10. We run Dijkstra exactly by the book, the full pseudocode, line by line. Distances start at infinity, and the source starts at 0. Round 1. The only finite distance is the source itself, so A is picked and marked. Blue means final, never touched again. Then A's edges update the neighbors. B becomes 2, and C 4. Round 2. The closest unmarked vertex is B, at 2. B is marked, final, the algorithm promises. Its edge to D makes D reachable at 7. Round 3. The closest unmarked vertex is now C, at 4, marked. Through C, D improves, 5 beats 7. And E becomes reachable, also at 5. Now D and E are tied at 5. The algorithm may take either. Say D is marked, and the target F is reached, 5 plus 2, 7. Then E at 5 is picked and marked, and E is where everything goes wrong. Here comes the fatal moment. From E, the negative edge offers B 5 minus 10 minus 5, far better than 2. But B is already marked, final, so the offer is ignored. The other edge from E offers the target 8, worse than 7, no update. F is marked last, and Dijkstra confidently answers, shortest distance 7. But that is wrong. Follow the gold route. 4 plus 1 minus 10 plus 5 plus 2. Total 2. Dijkstra missed it. The improvement arrives through the negative edge after B was already sealed. Why did this happen? Dijkstra's whole strategy rests on one promise. The closest unmarked vertex already has its final distance. That is exactly what marking means. With negative edges, that promise is false. A cheaper route can arrive after a vertex is sealed. We need an algorithm that never seals anything. That algorithm is Bellman-Ford. Before we build it, one warning. Here is an ordinary-looking instance, a source S, a target T, and 2 negative edges. This time, they hide a genuine danger. At first sight, the best route is S, R, U, T, 3 minus 4 plus 2, total 1. But look at the cycle P, E, R, U. Its total weight is minus 2, minus 4, plus 3. Minus 3. Every lap around it makes a route 3 units cheaper. So insert a lap. The cost drops to minus 2. Another lap, minus 5. We can loop forever. The cost falls without bound. A reachable negative cycle means no shortest path exists at all. So we make one assumption. The graph contains no negative cycles. Individual negative edges are perfectly fine. Only cycles with negative total weight are ruled out. Under that assumption, shortest paths are well defined, and Bellman-Ford finds them. Let us build it. Back to the graph that defeated Dijkstra. The same 6 vertices, the same negative edge. This time, Bellman-Ford built up one line at a time. Line 1, the same setup as Dijkstra. Every vertex gets a tentative distance, d of v starting at infinity, and an empty parent pointer, p of v. Line 2. The source starts at distance 0, of course. And now the new idea, the heart of Bellman-Ford. No picking, no marking. We simply sweep through every edge of the graph, one after another, and repeat the sweep in -1 times. Here, 5. Why n-1? A shortest path never repeats a vertex, so it uses at most n-1 edges, like this one. That many sweeps are always enough. The rest is the familiar test. If d of v plus the edge weight, null of vw beats the neighbor's current distance, update it and record the parent. And nothing is ever final here, so no edge is ever locked out, not even the negative one. Let us run it. Pass 1. The edges are checked in a fixed order, roughly left to right. The first 2 leave the source, b becomes 2, and c becomes 4. Next, the edge from b, 2 plus 5, puts d at 7. Then the 2 edges from CD improves from 7 to 5, and E becomes reachable, also at 5. Now the negative edge. 5 minus 10 is -5, far better than 2. The update simply happens. B drops to -5, and its parent becomes E. In Dijkstra, this offer arrived too late. B was already sealed. Here, nothing ever is. 2 edges remain. Through D, the target gets its first distance, 7. The edge from E offers 8. No improvement. That ends pass 1. Pass 2. The same edges in the same order. Why repeat? A late update can unlock improvements the earlier edges missed. Watch B. The first 2 edges changed nothing. But the edge from B now carries the new value. -5 plus 5 is 0. D improves from 5 to 0. The negative edge is paying off. The 2 edges from C have nothing new to offer, and the negative edge itself cannot improve on -5. And now the payoff reaches the target. 0 plus 2 is 2. F improves from 7 to 2. The final edge changes nothing. End of pass 2. Pass 3. One more sweep through all 8 edges. This time, not a single update happens. And that is the stopping signal. When a full pass changes nothing, later passes cannot change anything either. The distances are final, and the algorithm may stop early. The answer: the shortest distance from A to F is 2. Where Dijkstra said 7, Bellman-Ford says 2. And 2 is correct. But which route achieves 2? As always, the purple parent arrows know. Start at the target and follow them backwards. FF came from D, D came from B, B from E, through the negative edge, E from C, and C from the source. Read forwards: A, C, E, B, D, F. Total weight 2. That is the shortest path in gold, straight through the edge that broke Dijkstra. How fast is it? There are at most n-1 passes, and each pass checks every edge once. Watch. 1 sweep, every edge. So the total running time is n times m, where n counts the vertices and m counts the edges. That is slower than Dijkstra, the price we pay for negative edges. So the rule of thumb: all weights non-negative, use Dijkstra; negative weights, use Bellman-Ford. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to support the channel. The step-by-step video on Dijkstra's algorithm is already on the channel, and more graph theory videos are coming soon.